Welcome to How We Met. I'm Sheryl Strich, and every month I interview two couples from Laguna Woods who tell their story about how they met. Before we get started, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and a Happy New Year. And for all of us December birthdays, happy birthday. Mine is December 8th. Our first couple is Barbara and Rob Muchnick. Rob is second vice president on the third board. He's also first vice president and director of entertainment in the Chicago Club. Barb attends Chicago Club concerts along with others at the PAC. She takes PC classes, emeritus classes, and knitting and crochet classes. She's in a weekly yoga class, and she's also in weekly games of canasta, mahjong, and rummy cube. And also, she's in the astronomy club, but don't worry, I'm not going to be asking any sun or moon questions. When I asked Barb and Rob to come on the show, I completely forgot that they have December birthdays also. So happy December birthday to both of you.
Thank you.
Same to you.
Thank you, Sagittarius.
I'm really glad you guys could come on. Thank you so much. I always ask 3 questions of every couple that comes on, so let's get started. Our first question is, where are you from?
I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I grew up there.
Okay, and when did you come to California?
Well, I was in California. That was probably in the mid-'70s, and I was there for about 20-some years and moved back to Pittsburgh.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, and you, Rob, where are you from?
I grew up in New York City. I spent the first 21 years of my life there. And
Which borough?
Well, the Bronx and Queens.
Okay.
And then from there went to graduate school and moved around the country with teaching jobs at different universities.
And how did you wind up in California?
Well, we wound up in California because Barb's mom had lived here for 30 some odd years in the village, in Laguna Woods Village. She was 95 years old at the time when we came out here, and we specifically came out here so Barb could spend time with her mom and be support for her mom.
Nice.
And it was the most fortunate thing that happened.
Nice. So that makes you a second-generation Laguna Woodsian.
Yes, yes. My parents lived here and loved it.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah.
Okay. Second question is, how long have you been a couple?
We've been a couple since about January of 2021. That was when we first
2021?
I'm sorry, 2001.
2001.
2001. That was when we first got together.
Nice. And how long have you been in Laguna Woods?
We moved here in June of 2019 to be near my mom, and we live within walking distance, and thank goodness we moved to be near her.
So that means you've been here for 5 years.
Five and a half years.
That makes you second generation.
Yeah, right.
Okay, let's get started.
Okay.
How'd you meet?
Well, I was living in California at the time, and I was going to move back to Pittsburgh. And I was not married at the time. And so I was, people in those days, you did online dating sites. So I was looking for somebody who would live near, or in Pittsburgh, and somebody who was a real family man.
And you were, at that moment, living in California.
Yes, I was.
But you were looking for somebody in Pittsburgh.
Because that's where I was going to move.
All right.
And so I contacted Rob through this dating site, and we started, I guess, chatting back and forth.
You're in California, and he's in
The Pittsburgh area.
Pittsburgh
Yes.
area. Okay.
And then we started talking to each other, and we would spend hours on the phone. And before we even met, I felt like we were best friends.
How long did this go on?
Well, we finally met in the spring of 2001.
Okay. So I'm sorry, that was within a year.
Yeah,
Within the year. Yeah.
About 5-6 months, we
Okay.
actually met face to face.
We met, yes.
In Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Yes, yes. And then we've been together since then.
So okay, so you went out on a date, the first,
Yeah,
okay.
first time we
Right.
met.
right.
We actually went to a wedding.
You went to a wedding?
We went to the wedding of a friend.
Yeah.
And
your friend,
that
yeah.
was our first real social interaction
Yeah.
outside of meeting.
Okay, all right. So but you had already met?
Right.
We had met, yes.
You had met. And how soon after that did you go to the wedding?
Oh, there was that same week that she flew into
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. She flew to Pittsburgh looking for housing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's when we met face to face.
Okay.
But we knew each other so well from the phone.
Okay, so then you finally met each other and you still were happy to get together again.
Yes, yes.
Well,
So he says.
okay, so after the wedding, how soon did you get together again?
Oh, I flew back out to LA
Yeah.
and I helped her pack. And then,
So you really got started immediately.
well, we'd already been
Yeah.
interacting for about 6 months at that point.
Yeah.
And then I flew back out to LA a second time and we drove cross country to Pittsburgh
It was a
together.
wonderful trip.
Oh, was it?
Oh, yes.
Well, we did all national parks. So we did Grand Canyon, Bryce, Zion, Yellowstone.
Okay.
A lot of sightseeing.
So we did all that.
It's not that wouldn't have been my cup of tea, but,
We really loved it.
oh, good. I'm
We
really
did, yeah.
And you still remained a couple after that long trip.
Yes, we did.
And here we are.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. So how soon after that did you get married?
I held out as long as I could. We were together 9 years and finally got married. Barbara finally said to me, if I'm not good enough to marry, then, goodbye. So I said, okay, we'll get married.
So when
Yeah.
did you get married?
2010.
2010.
Okay.
So 14 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had been living together, but
Yeah,
2010.
we were living
yeah.
together
Right.
then.
So you have 2 daughters,
I have 2
and
daughters.
you have 2 daughters.
Correct.
Okay. So between all of you, there have been 5 weddings, right?
Correct.
Right.
Ours and
yes,
theirs.
yes, right.
Right.
Yeah.
Ours and
Who got
theirs.
married first?
We did.
Okay.
Yeah, we did. And then,
And then the next year, 2 of the daughters got married. Not to each other, but
Right.
2 of the
yeah,
daughters
yeah,
got
my
married.
oldest daughter, yeah,
And my youngest daughter.
yes.
Okay.
And they've all remained friends.
How nice.
All
So
4 daughters get along.
Yeah.
We-
where are they?
Well, I have one in New York with 2 children, and then I have one in LA with 2 little children. So I
great.
go there almost every weekend.
I
Or-
babysit for my grandson every Friday, so
Yeah.
that's what we do. And what about you?
My daughters one lives in Carbondale, Illinois. She's on the faculty there at the university. And the second daughter lives in Dayton, Ohio. And she is a mental health professional.
So do you ever all get together at the same time?
We did. In fact, it was last June
May.
or May. We all did a family trip with all the kids and the grandkids. We were in Hilton Head,
Oh, how nice.
South Carolina.
We rented an 8-bedroom, 8-bath, oceanfront home, flew everybody in, all 17 of us, and we spent the week at the beach.
Yeah, it wasn't the most quiet week.
I'm
but
sure it wasn't. And did you hire a cook?
No.
You're looking.
I cooked and we also ordered
Yeah,
in.
we did.
Because I had a house in Hilton Head for 30 some odd years. My kids grew up there. Barbara spent time there.
Yeah, a lot.
We sold it when we came to California, but since we knew all the restaurants and everything, the kids wanted to go
Yeah.
back to all their old favorite haunts.
Your kids grew up in Hilton Head?
Well, not grew up, they spent summers. As a professor, I was off all summer, and I would take them to the beach for the summer.
Okay. So you had a place in Hilton Head and a place in Pittsburgh.
Right.
Right. And we've also done some family trips at Club Med.
The whole family? How
Yeah.
does
Yes.
that work?
They all worked out.
Wonderful. There were so many
I'm
activities.
pumping you because I want to start doing it with my family.
Oh, do it. Do Club Med.
Yeah, we've done it for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
We've gone different places. Once was Cancun, once was Dominican Republic, and Hilton Head. So we've gotten the family, as many who can get together as
Right,
possible.
right.
Right.
But we got all 17 together at Hilton Head.
How nice. How long, was it a week?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
And
a
they
week.
they all stayed for a week?
They all stayed, yes.
How nice.
Uh-huh.
How wonderful that is.
And the kids all played.
And everybody got along.
Yes, they
There's
did.
7 grandchildren, and they all got along. And well, with a house with 8 bedrooms on 3 different
Yeah.
floors,
Oh.
there was enough separation.
Right. And my oldest granddaughter, 10-year-old, she loved taking care of the little ones.
Nice. Nice.
So it was wonderful.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really is. Okay, so there have been 5 weddings in a very short period of time. Wow.
Yes.
Should have had a son.
Actually, no, I'm very happy, we're very happy having the daughters. And actually, they all married really good men.
Oh, good men and good fathers.
Oh, nice.
So we're very happy with
Yes.
the current family.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy to
And they're
hear
all
that.
pet owners, too.
Oh, yeah, in addition to you. Do
Yes.
they all have Rottweilers?
No, we're the
No.
only Rottweiler
We're-
family.
What do they have?
One has a cat, one has another dog, one, I don't know, whatever breeds they are.
Before I had my grandson, I used to have to babysit for the dog. But now they just leave the dog with anybody. But,
Right, right.
but I do get the grandson, so that's cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's really nice when everybody can get together. My family hasn't had that kind of experience quite yet.
Yeah.
The children are still a little too young, but as I said, I'm pumping you because I want to start.
Well-
As soon as we're done, I'm going to write down all these things.
You know, even with the children who are very young, because we had very, very young ones in Hilton Head, that's why you've got the grandparents there, so the parents can be busy and the
Right,
watch
right,
the little ones.
Right, right. It really is a perfect setup.
Yes,
Yeah, and we'll plan to do it again in the future.
yes,
The goal is to do it once a year.
Once
Yeah.
a year.
all right.
Yeah,
You don't have to go back to work to do that?
not yet.
I might have to get a second
Yeah,
job.
second job.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, it was really nice having you guys on. And again, I want to wish you congratulations on becoming second vice president of third. I hear it just happened this week, so congratulations.
Right, thank you.
And I was looking forward to having you on, and here you are. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Well,
Cheryl,
thank you.
We enjoyed this. Thank you so much.
And happy holidays to you and yours.
And,
Thank
and,
you.
I'm glad you had a happy birthday.
Thanks, and you too.
Thank you.
All right, our next couple up are Dave and Terry Whittington. Terry and Dave are both involved with the TGIF board. Dave is actually in charge of booking the bands each week. Terry's is in spin classes at least once a week. She's in mine. And Dave is part of the bicycle group. Dave has also formed a motorcycle riding group that meets every week. They attend many pack performances and go to rock and rollers dances along with dances from other clubs. Terry and Dave, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
I'm really happy to have you.
Thank you.
And as I was saying to you before we started rolling, it's really wonderful to see you outside of the spin class.
That's true.
We all look different.
Right.
Anyway, I always start with 3 questions, and the first question is, where are you from?
I'm from Medford, Oregon.
Nice.
That's where I was born and lived in for about 29 years.
And Dave?
Fort Dodge, Iowa.
Where?
Fort Dodge, Iowa.
Oh, Fort Dodge, Iowa. Okay.
Yes,
All right. And then when did you guys come to California? Did you come together or separately?
separately.
No, we didn't. We met in Phoenix.
Oh, that's right.
Would you like me to tell it?
Go
Yes.
ahead, Terry.
Go ahead.
We met in Phoenix, and we got married there. And then Dave's in the insurance business and always moving around to different companies or being transferred. So we came to California, and what year was that?
74.
74. Yeah. So we've been in and out of California a few times. We've lived a lot of other places.
Oh, okay. Okay. But now you're here to stay.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. This is another question. It should be pretty simple. How long have you been a couple?
52 plus years.
52 plus
In
years.
fact, our anniversary is Sunday.
Oh,
52
Sunday.
years. yeah.
Happy. You've been married 52 years?
We'll be, yeah, 52 years on Sunday.
Okay, that's married. How long have you been a couple?
Well, a year before,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
53.
53 years.
Yeah.
And you're still together.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Happy anniversary. by
Thank
the
you.
way.
Well, thank you.
Okay, and how long have you been in Laguna Woods?
Moved here in February of 2011.
So
Okay.
about 15 years.
Well,
almost.
not quite.
Oh,
It will be,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, we bought the place in 2009. We were living in Hawaii, and we had friends that lived here in Laguna Woods, and they told us about it. So they sent us a globe. We looked through it, flew over for a vacation to see our kids, and found the place and bought it, and then rented it out for 2 years until I retired.
good idea. So actually, the first question was, where are you from? And you're from a lot of places.
Right.
But it's okay, we got the first and the last, and that's cool. All right. And Okay, so let's go on to the really important thing. How'd you meet?
You can tell that one.
Oh, well, we both lived in the same apartment complex in Phoenix, and I would see him walking around, but he wasn't a bit interested in me because he was dating another woman. And then he had a dirt bike, motorcycle, and my brother was a professional motorcycle racer when he came back from Vietnam in LA. And so I was a little bit interested been around them.
Right.
And so he'd be out working on his bike in the parking lot, and I'd stop and try to have some conversation.
Was he still involved with this other woman?
Oh, I guess, I don't know. It was not real serious. But anyway, so, and then I was impressed with him then, but then he was impressed with me because I had a color TV.
Oh, because she had color TV.
All I had was a little 17-inch black and white, and the other thing that really impressed me is she came out and helped me fix a clutch cable on my motocross bike.
I think that's more impressive.
That is.
Sometimes it pays to have a brother.
Yes.
Yeah. She invited me over for a dinner and watch a TV show, and I said, "Do you have a color TV?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "Well, I'll be there."
And that was it? That was how it started?
Yes.
Yeah, we were together, dating and everything for about a year.
So hold on a second. So Terry invited you over for dinner
Yes.
and to watch TV.
Yes.
And okay, and then you went home. How soon after that did you call her and ask her to do something?
Oh, I don't know.
Pretty soon after that, but then not too long after we had met, I went back to Baltimore because I worked for an insurance company, and they sent me back to a 6-week school in Baltimore. So we kind of didn't see each other, but I could,
you were in
I'd send her
touch.
cards and stuff. And then when I came back from Baltimore, that's when it really started.
All right.
Yeah.
Were you waiting for him to?
Yes, and one postcard he sent, he signed it, "Love, Dave."
Oh.
And I thought, oh, wow, this might be going somewhere. So anyway, so we were together, like I said, dated for about a year. And then we got married in Phoenix. Both of our families came down there.
Nice.
And then from then, it was just one move after another all over the place.
So it was like being an army wife.
Oh, yeah. But we were in San Diego the longest.
Yeah,
Our boys were born there, and
Where'd you live in San Diego?
by San Diego State.
Okay. Nice.
And Dave worked down in the valley,
I worked for an insurance company down
Mission Bay Valley. or
No,
something.
I actually worked close to Balboa Park in the
Yeah.
office building down
So
there.
you could just go to the park on your
I
lunch
did at
hour.
lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. And so
Yeah.
your kids were raised in San Diego?
Well, till they were,
Middle school, 6th grade, 5th grade.
I think 9 years down to 8 years.
So did you work while
I worked in banking. I had been in banking for a number of years, and mortgage banking, and then I worked until we had the kids,
Yeah.
the boys, and then I stayed home, and then every move after that I would diddle in some kind of work.
would you my parents lived in the same house all the time,
Oh.
and then when I lived in the same house for 25 years when I had kids, so I didn't have this moving around a lot. How did you handle that?
Well, in Medford, where I grew up, my dad was a home builder, just a single home builder.
Right.
So he would build a house, we'd move into it, then we'd be there about a year, and then he'd sell it, and get the money to build another house. So I was used to moving around in Medford.
Okay.
And then Dave was definitely on the road with his family a
Yeah,
lot.
my dad was in construction.
Okay.
He worked on Davis Dam, Shasta Dam, a dam up in Montana. So when I was, we moved to different job
So
sites.
you'd go to different schools all the time?
Oh, yeah, I was
Yeah.
always the new kid.
Yeah. And you must have been I don't know, you were in Medford, so you were in the
Right.
same area.
Right,
Right.
changed schools a
Right.
couple times.
So then being married to somebody where you have, how long, well, you stayed in San Diego for a number of years, but then if you were moving around, how did you, I have a lot of stuff, and the thought of
yeah.
moving is so difficult.
Fortunately, the companies always paid our moves,
Oh, okay.
and they'd come and pack and everything, and and we had a little house in San Diego, about 1,000 square feet.
Yeah,
about
and
the
then
size
we
of-
moved to the bigger house.
Right. And so we just didn't have a lot of room to collect things. And I've never really been much of a collector. And so then when we went to Kansas, we were there for 9 years.
Okay. Oh, so you weren't moving every year?
No,
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
And then after 9 years, our oldest son started University of Kansas, and the other one had just finished high school. So then we came back out here. I was sick of the Midwest. I said, we're going back to the West Coast.
Right.
Yeah, the company came to me and said, we're opening an office in Orange County. Are you interested? And I said, well, let me go home and talk to Terry. And I went home. I said, I got a chance to go back to California. He said, yes, didn't you? She was already packed after I got the sentence done.
Yeah.
You don't have to take a pay cut when you move to California, do you?
No.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Because it's such a nice place, I would think that maybe they...
No,
No,
they
no.
paid me more to come back
Oh,
out here.
okay.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, and then that job, they transferred it around, and then I ended up going to work in Alpine,
Oh,
Out of San
out
Diego.
of San Diego, and we lived up in Pine Valley, which is right at the base of the Laguna Mountains. There's only 1,500 people in the town.
it's a beautiful area.
Oh, yeah, we would get snow up there, and
Terry, do you ever ride motorcycles?
I've been on his bike with him twice.
Oh.
And that's it.
You know how to fix one, but you don't go on it.
Yeah, that's his thing.
but she used to go to the races with me and
Yeah.
see me come off the track after I'd crashed or something.
But no, I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy. That's his thing.
And your kids, you have 2 sons, right?
Yes.
And do they ride?
Yes. Yeah, the older son, Kurt, works for the Motorcycle Industry Council,
Oh, okay.
so that's his job. And the younger son, Chris, he and I share a motorcycle at the track, and then I have a, and then he owns.
What do you mean? I'm not familiar with this.
Well,
You go to a track?
We go to a racetrack up in Riverside called Adams, and we ride. They look like dirt bikes, but they're really set up to also ride on the pavement.
Okay.
So we ride on this small track up there with this Honda.
Do you race people on the track?
No, you don't really. Well, you kind of, but it's more of just practice.
Okay, all
You'll
right.
go out in a group, and they split us up into different levels of
Okay.
experience. So if you're a newbie, you go out in the beginners and the
Right,
intermediate.
got it.
Then they will have a group for the people that actually race on that track, and they'll run together. So we've been doing that 10 years.
Oh, that sounds really neat. Not that I want to do it, but that sounds really neat.
Yeah, it's fun,
That's a nice
yeah.
way to do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we
So
keep
you
it-
share a bike with him?
Yeah, we bought this Honda, and then so we'll go to the track, and I'll ride with one group, and he'll ride with another group, so
Got
that we
it.
both
Got it.
use the same bike.
And you have kids in LA, grandkids in LA?
Yes. Well, they're all young. Well, they're all in Orange County.
Oh, your grandkids
Yeah,
are in
oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's the oldest one. She is 20, but she lives at home with her dad. And then his first marriage ended, and then he remarried, and now they have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Oh,
And the younger son, they live
In Orange.
Fountain Valley.
No, the older son lives in Fountain Valley.
Yeah, okay. And they have a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old.
nice.
So, and that's who we've taken care of them
Right.
since they were infants.
Right.
Because
Ni-
mom is always, she has a very good career, so.
Nice. How fortunate for you that you're that
Oh,
close.
we just love it.
My
yes.
grandkids, my three grandkids are in Washington State, so I only see them sporadically. I have one close by, and so I see him every week.
Oh, well,
Right.
good.
But it's really a treat. He's only a year old, and I'm discovering the treat. What a treat it is to have your grandkid right near you.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it sure is.
Yeah.
We just love every minute of it.
It's really sweet.
Yeah, I've been going to soccer games
Yes,
for half my life, I
know.
think.
I'm actually looking forward to that.
yes. And then we've had basketball games.
Basketball and track,
Right.
And, yeah.
all that stuff.
You still have your chair that you bring with you every.
Oh, yes. We just keep them in the car.
Are you the only grandparents who attend, or are there
No. Well, the older son, his mother-in-law, and they live close
Okay.
by. But the younger one, she's out. She lives by herself, and she's way out in the desert, so she doesn't come very often. But
When my kids played soccer, there was one set of grandparents that would come, and like nobody else had grandparents there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's really a special thing for grandparents to come to your events. I
oh, it
think.
is.
Yeah.
It is. We even went to the last soccer that they had, like end of the season, 2 weeks ago. And we went to their little
But
party.
it can be a little exhausting as you're cheering for your kid.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I just got the 2-minute warning.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
It's been a pleasure having you on. I'm really
Well,
happy to
thank you.
see you. Thank
Well,
you so
we've
much.
enjoyed it.
Yeah,
And
great.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Well, thank
Merry
you.
Christmas and Happy New Year to you.
You bet.
Have a wonderful holiday, and we'd love to hear from you. So send us a message at lwvcouples@gmail.com. And thanks for watching.